We do have some cool volunteers that have kind of organically just happened. Now, my oldest daughter, Bailey, who is a certified vet tech.
Another incredible human.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Your whole family, by the way.
Thank you. I feel the same way about you guys. Bailey is a big piece of what Positive Pathways does, and does some transports for me. She fosters for us with some of our tougher dogs, like the one we drove to Mississippi. And then Bristol, my youngest, is 15, and I could never hire a better kennel assistant than her. We do call her the pity pack master. Yeah, the dogs love her. It's a competition now when I bring a new one home, who that dog's gonna love more quickest. They all 9 out of 10 of them pick her before they pick me. She just has a thing. She's also an equestrian, and I think just animals are. She's just great.
She has a gift.
She has a gift, yeah. So we get him out of the shelter. We bring him home. I have kind of a little tradition with every dog that gets in the car with me. The very first ride, we stop and get some McDonald's French fries. That's for all the nutritionists out there. That's probably not the best thing to do. I only give them a few. But that, I don't know why. They like it, and I like it, and it's just a little thing we like to do. And then at our place, we have small, humble little area that we call the dog apartment. And it's right there with my house. And it is set up just like an apartment, a bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom. And so when the dogs come to us, everyone starts at a different place, just like humans. Dogs are not a cookie cutter approach. We do, trust building, confidence building. That's all in the beginning. We do not focus that heavily on just obedience, and I talk about that in some of my training videos. That
you let them decompress.
Yeah, obedience comes later. Like anybody could get on YouTube and say, teach a dog how to sit. That's not hard stuff. Yeah. What I'm getting them done, I'm rehabilitating, getting them ready for just life in a home. Most of these dogs have never been in a home.
Street dog.
They've lived in a backyard or been off the streets. Yeah. One of our ones that we just got, he lived on a chain in his backyard for 8 years. So if you can imagine, he doesn't even really like coming in the house. He would much rather be outside, and I give him big cushy beds to lay in, and when I come out, he's laying on the ground. And so, because that's just what feels good to him and feels right to him. And now, if you can imagine using that word love, if a human came in and tried to just love on him the normal traditional human way, he would be miserable, because love to him is in a totally different form.
Totally.
Like, don't mess with me, don't hug on me, don't cuddle on me. Maybe that'll come eventually, but right now we're doing, dog love. We're letting him sniff and take pack walks.
So it's kind of like a guy in a long-term marriage.
Maybe so.
Experience that one.
Yeah, we let him do his thing. Every once in a while he'll come up and want me to touch his head, but it's just for a split second. Then he's like, I'm off again. So all the dogs are a little different. So when they come in, we traditionally, or I guess our standard is everybody is crate trained. We like to do this for a couple of reasons, and I think a lot of times humans view crates as jail. They kind of equate it the same. And I just did a training video I'm going to post here in the coming days I said containment. It's so important to help them with their decompression. They need a good 15 to 18 hours of sleep those first 3 days, every 24 hours. That's how much sleep they should be getting. And so the crate helps make them feel safe, lets them really sleep, because their brain needs to reset and heal, especially coming out of a shelter environment where a lot of times it's loud or they maybe just came off the streets or something like that. So then once we start building trust and the confidence building, then we start working on some just basic manners that you need to have in any home, and that's, don't jump on the kitchen table, and
how to load the dishwasher.
How to load the dishwasher.
Take out the trash.
Yeah. We work on some loose leash manners. Nothing that's going to win you any blue ribbons at a dog competition, but just don't drag me down the road. And then the biggest piece of what we do, and this is that I said there was like 3 things that make us very unique, is that we try to check them for everything, down to
heartworm.
We check them for heartworm. But are they okay in a car? Right. Are they okay in a drive-through? Are they
drive-through approved? Yes.
Aggressive.
Yeah. Are they okay with cats? Are they okay with chickens?
Chase the bike.
Do they get car sick? Are they reactive in the car? You would be amazed how many dogs are completely fine with humans until they're in a car. and then they see a human and they come uncorked.
Right.
And so that's all things we figure out, and then we start rehabilitating them on whatever their specific needs are. And there's occasion, I have a couple right now where they'll come in and I'm like, you don't need me to do anything. You're just really
That's
awesome.
so nice.
And I think just those are the dogs that, not every human's bad. Not everybody dumps their dog in the middle of the, of a county road, and not everybody, surrenders their dog when they are tired of it jumping on them. Some people are just really down on their luck.
Yes.
And the family that we got, the one dog from their house burned down. They were living in a motel. There was no way they could have him in a motel. We have other people one in particular, that Lemon was her name. She's been adopted. And,
I remember that heartbreaking.
I was sitting in the waiting room at the shelter when her owner came in. And this is a big, tough construction guy. And he was trying to hold back tears when he had to surrender her. And I didn't even let her go back to the kennels. I took her from the lobby. Because there's people that are hurting, and they don't want to see bad things happen to their dogs, and so I think it's helpful when we can step in and help those people too.
Totally.
A couple of the Fort Lyon guys. Fort Lyon is a homeless shelter / kind of rehab center that's not too far from us, and I've a few of those guys who have been down on their luck and maybe messed up and got kicked out, or they're transitioning from the fort to a new home, and they have a dog and they have nowhere to put the dog, and they've reached out and said, hey, could you babysit? And so, our licensing, we have to actually have them sign an owner relinquishment form, but I hold on to those dogs for them, and then when they are, on their feet again, they get to have their dog back.
Yeah, as they're being trained to be responsible.
Yes.
And in life, that's part of a lot of rehab.